Hey there guys, so today's video is going to be another chill, laid back, get ready with me. I actually do have a couple new products to try, not anything too crazy. I do have a new tinted moisturizer to try. I just picked up this Urban Decay Stay Naked Hydromaniac Tinted Glow Hydrator and I'm really excited to try this. And then I also did pick up a couple of the Pat Mcgrath blushes, so I'm really excited to try these out today. And then I also have another blush from Bite Beauty. I picked up one of their whipped cream blushes, but I'm not going to use this today. I'm just going to test out the Pat Mcgrath. So I'm just going to pull my hair back and we're just going to get started. I have had no desire to film my favorites video lately, so like I've just been filming like get ready with me's, but this is all I've been really in the mood to film, because I just, again, just want to talk to you guys and just keep you guys updated as much as possible about what's going on with me right now. So I'm going to use the Marc Jacobs primer today because just the Urban Decay one is a little bit too liquidy for me sometimes. I feel like the Marc Jacobs is a little bit more tacky. I'm hoping to get out of here within the next, like, not even 40 minutes. I'm kind of course, running behind as usual. I can never, like, get anywhere in the time that I actually want to go there, so, but I think I should be okay. Because I think I have a little bit more time than I thought. Because I actually have to go, to the Toyota dealership today. I'll explain that in a minute. I keep on forgetting to grab my Wet n Wild powder. Just give me a second. And then we'll go in with eyeshadow. Okay, so I just set my eyes with my Wet n Wild Photo Focus Pressed Powder. And now we're going to jump into eyeshadow. So I think I'm just going to use a combo of the Clueless palette and the Malibu Barbie palette today. I'm going to use a couple mattes from this one and like a matte and a shimmer from this one. Because even though I have been I really have just been rotating these two palettes. These are the only two palettes I've been using because they're the newest palettes to my collection. And you guys know I want to use new palettes as much as possible to let you guys know if it's worth it or not. But also because I genuinely want to get as much use as I can out of my new palettes in my collection when I first get them. So for my crease shade, I'm just going to go into this shade right here, which is called Make Waves. And I'm just going to pop that in my crease. So a couple of days ago, me, my sister, and my mom all went to the Toyota dealership to look at cars because my lease is up in like a month. And originally, like, it was only going to be me and my sister to go, and my mom kind of felt like it should only be us going, and I'm like, no, since Samantha's here and we don't get to do too much with her too often, I was like, why don't you come with us? And then my brother also ended up going too. So at first we went to Honda and they didn't really have too many cars to test drive because I don't know if you guys know what's going on with, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people do know what's going on with the car market right now. Why is this shade always like turned out? Oh, why is this shade not as yellow as it looks in the pan? It always turns out like more peachy toned. Like I want it to be like a light, like yellowy brown, and it always turns out like an orangey brown. I mean an orangey peachy shade, not a brown. It's not really that brown at all. It's probably because of all the color that's on this brush still, but I do spot clean it every night. So anyway, we went to go test drive a Honda first. But they didn't really have any Hondas that we wanted to test drive because it's actually really hard to even get a car to test drive at the dealership right now. Like, that's how in demand cars are right now, especially Hondas and especially Toyotas. They're like the two most popular brands pretty much in America. And then I'm just going to dip into the Clueless palette. I'm just going to use this shade right here that I use like all the time, which is called Highly Selective. And I'm just going to use that and use that to define my crease area. So we went and, I don't know if I'm even going to do an outer corner shade today. I don't know. I'm just feeling kind of lazy. I just want to pop on a lid shade and call it a day. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So they didn't have an Accord or a Civic for me to test drive, which is that's what I really wanted to test drive. We looked at one of the crossovers, which is called the HRV, and they didn't even have that to test drive either. So we decided we just were going to go to Toyota. And we looked at the Corolla, the Prius, and the RAV4. But the RAV4 is kind of really out of my price range. I like the car, but I honestly was set on, getting another sedan. So, the Prius is like $10,000 more than the Corolla is. So, my boyfriend actually owned a Corolla a couple of years back. And ever since he had that car, he's told me, like, how great Toyotas are. And I've always, been wanting to lease a Toyota at some point because I think that they're great cars too. But my mom was always set on, us leasing Fords. But Ford doesn't really have any options to lease right now because they got rid of a lot of their models because they discontinued the Focus, which is the car that I drive. I'm just going to take Zuma Beach and pop that in my outer corners. So we were going to go to Ford at some point, but my mom told me that she went there a couple of days back. And honestly, like, our dealer that we've been dealing with for a really long time, like 20 to almost 25 years, we have leased every single Ford from him. He honestly said there's really not much on the market right now, and he said the only thing that he suggested was for me to own the car that I have now, which is my Ford Focus. But he told me it would take, she told me that he said that it would take me 5+ years to pay it off. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. I'm like, it's going to take me 5 years to pay off a car. I could lease another car in that time frame. I can lease a car now for 3 years. And then if I want to buy my Corolla, or if I want to buy like another Toyota, like, or a new Toyota, I'd much rather own a Toyota over a Ford. And if it's going to take me that long to pay it off, I don't want to do that because it's going to have so many problems down the road. I already don't really like this car anymore. After I test drove the Corolla yesterday, I pretty much fell in love with it. I've always loved my boyfriend's Corolla when he had it. He let me drive it a couple of times when he had it. I think I told you guys around almost 2 years ago, he did get into a car accident, but, it was 100% not his fault. Somebody rear-ended him at a red light and was looking at his cell phone and crashed into his car. Total friggin' idiot. So, it was terrible. Awful. But he owns that car, and it just sucks. It really, really sucks. But I've always really loved that car. So I went to test drive it with my sister. My mom and my brother stayed at the dealership, and me and my sister went to test drive it. And literally, as soon as I pulled out of the dealership, I'm like, oh my God, I love this car. It's super quiet. It's super smooth. It just feels so nice driving it. My boyfriend always says, these things that are, super hippie-ish about getting cars, but it really is true, and I really do take his advice when it comes to getting a car. Before I go into that, I'm just gonna take this shade, the Valley, and put that one all over my lid. So he tells me if you don't feel happy getting out of your car, it's not a good car. I felt so happy getting out of that Corolla. I don't feel happy getting out of my Focus. It's just not a great car. Toyotas are built to last. They are built for affordability. So I was just, super excited to talk to the dealer about, pricing and how much it's going to cost. So I was just, as soon as I test drove the Corolla, I'm like, I don't even want to look at another car. I'm like, this is the car that I want. So we were just going to go home after we test drove the car. I just wanted to get an estimate about how much it would cost. And then I just wanted to go home. And then we would come back like I actually have to go back today. That's what I'm getting ready for. But we were either going to come back today or tomorrow or whenever, me and my mom could go. But for some reason, like, we just stayed there way too late. I'm not going to get into the details right now. I was just unhappy at the end because the dealer, when he came back for the numbers on how much the car was supposed to cost, it was like twice the amount of how much I wanted to pay for the lease, for the sorry, just give me a minute. I just want to blend my eyeshadow and then we'll get into the rest of this train wreck. Okay, so for primer, since the tinted moisturizer is pretty hydrating, so I just want to prep my face with my MAC Fix Plus. Sorry, my boyfriend's texting me. He always does me off every time he texts me when I'm filming. I haven't seen him in a couple days, so. And then for my primer, I think I'm just going to use the Marshmallow Primer because it's sitting in front of me, but it's not as, watery and hydrating as the Hydro Fresh from, the Fresh It Up Primer from Catrice. So I figured this would just be a little bit more soothing and moisturizing. And again, since the Urban Decay is very hydrating, I don't want to go in with like a really watery hydrating primer to test it out. And I love this primer, so I'm just gonna use this. Oh, it just feels so nice on the face. I love it. Okay, so now we're gonna go into the Hydromaniac from Urban Decay. I got the shade Ultra Fair 10 Ultra Fair. And I don't know, I've just been super intrigued to try this ever since it came out. So I figured that this was a good time to get it. Because, I've used my Easy tint from Fenty, and I love that. And I also really like the Becca one. I kind of just, I know that tinted moisturizers, liquid and cream blushes, especially cream blushes, are just super trendy right now. But tinted moisturizer are also making like a huge comeback this year too. Especially in the summertime because everybody loves lightweight tinted moisturizers in the summertime. So this is the Urban Decay Stay Naked Hydromaniac Tinted Glow Hydrator. Medium coverage up to 24-hour wear. I don't know why they say that these things have to last 24 hours. Like, it's a tinted moisturizer. I mean, yeah, it's great that it probably lasts longer than your typical tinted moisturizer, but unless you're someone who works overnight or like works as like a medical worker or something, why do you need it to last 24 hours? It's just a little bit weird sometimes. So I took up, I think I probably took a little bit too much on my hand, but it's fine. I kind of want to see. I mean, this definitely has already, it does claim that it is medium coverage. So this already has way more coverage than a typical tinted moisturizer, so I probably should have used less, but I think I used a decent, I don't think I used too much, but I think I used a little bit more than I initially wanted to use. Okay, so let me just, I've heard really, really good things about this. Ooh, wow, that blends out so beautifully. Oh my god, that's actually really pretty. I really like that. Wow, that just looks really beautiful on the skin. I feel like I fall in love with every single tinted moisturizer that I try lately. But this is actually really beautiful. It has more coverage than my ColourPop Pretty Fresh Tinted Moisturizer, and it's way more of a, like, dewy finish than the Easy Tint from Fenty. Because the Easy Tint is more of, like, a, like demi matte finish, and this one's like, I mean, this kind of is like a demi matte finish too, actually, but I can definitely tell it has more dewiness to it than the Fenty one. But it feels so nice on the face. It feels a little bit tacky, but I think that's just due to the primer that I used. But it feels so nice, and I feel like it works really well with this primer too. I like it. Ooh, yes. I think this might be my new favorite. I'm already like loving it, and it blends out so easy. It's just like whoop, whoop, and that's it. It's done. Wow. I really like it. I definitely need some concealer though, but that looks stunning. I think it looks so good. Let's see. And it feels so it does feel really hydrating. It feels very similar to my Kogendo foundation that I always like loved. It does feel a little bit tacky though, so I probably should have went in with a little bit less next time. So I'm just gonna grab my concealer. Okay, and then for concealer, sorry, my boyfriend's making me laugh. I'm gonna use the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. I think I just used this in a video, but I didn't use this for a little while, and then I started using it again, and I'm like, once I start using it again, I can't stop using it. It's such a good freaking concealer. I'm just gonna blend that out. And I actually just whipped out another concealer that I kind of forgot about too, because I did use up both of my no filter concealers from ColourPop like I think like last year, and I forgot that I still had a backup of Fair 2 sitting in my room. And when I checked it, it's totally fine. So I put that in my collection too. I'm like, why didn't I just use this? Since I ran out of the no filter like last year. I like totally forgot that I had it. I'm like, wait, I have a backup of it. So yeah, basically, so the guy was really trying to get us to leave with the car when we went. And I was like, I didn't want to leave with the car. All I wanted to do was test drive it and get an estimate on how much it would cost, to lease it. That's all I wanted to do. And then I wanted to go home and spend time with my sister because she had only had 2 more days until she left to go home, which she left to go home today, this morning. So, I mean, like, she hasn't really had, like, a true home, but, like, she's been living in California for the past, like, year, and she had to go back and do a lot of stuff with her boyfriend, so yeah, anyway, so I was just telling Mom, like, I really just want to go home and spend more time with Samantha. And, like, for some reason, my mom was kind of getting really pressured by the dealership to take the car home today because, like I was saying, they're saying due to the COVID pandemic that the demand in cars is so high for this summer because, way more people are vaccinated, a lot more people are going back to work, a lot more people are traveling, that the demand of cars this year is like sky high as compared to last year when no one was going anywhere. So they were basically saying you're not going to find a better deal. Even though the deal was not even good because the deal that he told us was like way higher than I expected to pay. Because on their website, it says it's supposed to be $129 a month and $3,000 down, and that's what I was expecting to pay. And then he came to me with like this ridiculous number. I'm not going to say what it was, but it was like twice the cost of the lease payments that I initially thought I was going to pay. And I was like, I don't feel good about this. And for some reason, my mom just like was convinced that we weren't going to find a better deal. And I was like, it's not even a good deal. So what is it going to go up to $300 a month if we didn't take the car home? So after we finally were able to leave, because, he was still like keeping us there. just gonna spray my face. And then for my waterline, I think I'm just gonna take brown because the nude liner hasn't really been showing up that great lately on my waterline, and I find when I'm more in a rush, I like using the brown liner instead. So I'm just gonna use Earthquake by Marc Jacobs and just pop that on my waterline. So anyway, when we were about to finally get picked up and leave, the dealer convinced us to put down a deposit on the car because he wanted me, you know, to put the down payment down and take the car home that day. And I was like, I didn't want to do that. So yeah, it was just a hot mess. And then basically, we had gotten there at like 1:45 in the afternoon. We didn't leave until almost 4:45. And I'm like, Mom, I'm freaking starving. Like, all I had to eat was breakfast at 10:30 in the morning. So me and Samantha just thought we were going to go test drive cars for like not even 2 hours. And then we were just going to come home and spend the rest of the day at home or just eat lunch when we got home and then went to the supermarket and picked out food for us to cook. Because my sister loves cooking for us. And so I'm just going to use the Bite Beauty Upswing Mascara. She loves cooking for us. That's like the one thing that she really loves doing. So she did cook for us quite a bit when she was here. And I missed her cooking so damn much. I know I'm not really giving too many updates about my best friend right now. But it's not good, and I feel like if I start talking about it, I'm really gonna get upset, and it's kind of more private at this point, so I don't really want to give any other details, but it's just not good, and I don't really want to talk about it too much because I don't want to get upset, so I really just want to focus on when my sister was here. And so we finally got home, and I finally was able to eat something, and my brother also wanted to take my sister to the park that he goes to walk in. So we figured that they could do that while me and Mom were still at the dealership. But when we came home, my sister said she had a headache and she really just like wanted to rest for a little while. But we did have dinner together. And my sister said that she didn't want to cook, and my mom didn't want to cook either. So my sister did say that she wanted to have sushi with us at some point. So I was like, yeah, let's just order sushi. So we did sushi on Tuesday night, and then Wednesday night. And then yesterday, she did cook for us for the last day that she was here. So for my inner corners, I'm going to use Botticelli from the Clueless palette, and then that's pretty much it for the eyes. I didn't do my lower lashes. So yeah, we didn't really get to do much with her that day, but I also think that she needed a night to rest anyway because she's really been pushing herself since she's been here. She didn't really have a whole lot of time to relax because like I said, we only had like 1 or 2 days with her besides like just having her cook for us for dinner time, because this whole past weekend, which was Memorial Day weekend, her and my mom were spending the whole time going through everything that she brought home from us moving her out of her apartment last June. So she had to go through all of that stuff because she's moving to South Carolina with her boyfriend in a month because they got accepted to school there. Because if you guys didn't know, my sister had to change career paths and is now going to be going to business school because due to the pandemic, they couldn't pursue the careers that they wanted to since they were trying to make it on Broadway. But since Broadway shut down last year, they couldn't do that anymore. It sucks. It really sucks. And I know she's really upset about that. But we're all really proud of her moving on to a different career path. And hopefully I'll be able to actually get a job in my field very soon, probably next month is my goal. It's just, you know, it's too overwhelming for me to think about that right now with everything going on with my best friend. And I talked to my sister about it yesterday because we actually finally got our nails done yesterday morning. And, you know, we really got a chance to talk then because, you know, she wants to divide her attention among, like, all of us when we're here. But, you know, since me and her finally just were able to be alone and get our nails done, we really talked a lot. And my sister was like, no one's really expecting you to do anything right now. She's like, I understand it's a really hard thing to go through, and I get it. Like, she was really being sweet, and she was saying, no one's expecting you to do anything right now. It's a really hard time, and then she said, you can't let these things hold you back. So, yeah. So, anyway, I'm going to go into the Milani Dolce bronzer. This is just always my favorite to use on an everyday basis. It still performs just as well. And I just use this basically almost every day. I am trying to hit pan on it. Baked products are so much harder to hit pan on, I feel like. And I use this almost every day that I don't work because I just freaking love it. So yeah. So that night we couldn't really do much with her because she wasn't feeling well. So we just had dinner with her and then she just laid down for the rest of the night. She was going to tell us whether or not she was feeling better because she did want to play a couple more games with us, but she ended up not feeling better. And we're like, it's okay. I was like, I think you need a night to rest anyway. So she was doing a lot. She was going to the city and then she was moving everything downstairs with my mom, and that was a 3-day job in itself. I'm like, you're freaking tired. I'm like, you need a day to rest. So, or a night to rest at least. Okay, so now we're going to go into one of the Pat Mcgrath blushes. I'm super excited. This one is in the shade Nude Venus. So we're going to pop this one on my cheeks today. I actually did try this out last night just to see how it would look. I don't know why these are so damn difficult for me to open. This is what it looks like. I actually really like the packaging. Okay, I got it. So this is the shade Nude Venus. It's like a really pretty, like, peachy pink shade. And I think it's going to be really pretty with this look. I don't really have to wipe off my brush because this is the blush that's still on my brush because I tried it out last night. I just wanted to see how it would look because I did receive them yesterday. So I'm just applying that, and it looks really, really pretty on the skin. I'm just going to try and blend it out as much as possible. I feel like I need to get a different blush brush at this point. I feel like this brush just, like, applies the... I mean, it's a great brush. I just feel like it applies it, like, too pigmented sometimes, and it's a little bit harder to blend out with this brush. Sorry that my nose is running. Drives me freaking crazy. But it is a really pretty shade, and I think that it applies really nice and silky on the skin. When I swatched them yesterday, I was like, these aren't really anything that special. But again, it's always different on the face. So I don't know why I judged them just by swatching them. I knew they were going to be really pretty on the face. From everything that I heard, people said that these are really blurring on the skin, so I'm just trying to blend this one out more. Blend this side out more, and it looks really pretty. I just don't know why it's taking me forever to blend out, but it looks gorgeous. All right, let me see. Yes, very pretty. So I really like that. It's a really stunning shade. They actually accidentally sent me 2 of this shade. So I have to go back to Sephora. I'm not even sure if they have these in the store. I haven't been to Sephora since before these actually launched at Sephora. Because the last time I went was actually last Tuesday with my sister, because my sister wanted to get some Ilia makeup, and I think I said that in another Get Ready With Me. And then for my highlight, I'm just going to use the Winky Lux Celestial Powder Lights highlighter. I haven't used this in a little while, and it's just been sitting in front of me saying use me, so I'm going to go ahead and pop that on. It's a really pretty, like, light gold highlight, and I think it'll be really pretty with this look. And then yesterday, after me and my sister got our nails done, we just came home and had lunch and talked to my mom for a little while. And then we went to the supermarket to decide what we wanted to eat for dinner. And then we spent a little bit more time at home after. I mean, we spent the rest of the night home after that. And she made us her last meal to cook for us. And I just like sat down for a little while before dinner and watched some Friends. I still haven't committed to starting a new show lately, but I have been watching Friends when I have the time to just relax for a little while at home. And I've been wanting to rewatch the show for such a long time. And I was like, let me just start watching it again. And I just really have been enjoying using that to unwind. And yeah, it's been nice. I mean, I wish I could just stay home today and watch like 10 episodes, but that's just, I can't like binge watch things anymore. I have like no time anymore. It's just my schedule has been too hectic with my sister being here and everything else going on with Liz. Okay, and then I'm going to spray my face, and then we'll figure out a lippy. So then after dinner, we played one more round of Scrabble, and then we decided to watch a nostalgic movie for me and my sister and my brother and my mom. And I said, can we please watch Galaxy Quest together? It's like one of our favorite movies. It's just like our movie. Like, we love it. We've seen it so many times, but I'm like, we haven't watched it with her in so long. And since we didn't really have, I'm just using my ColourPop Brow Boss gel. We didn't really have too many nights where we watched things together. My sister actually enjoyed playing games with us more. We basically spent most nights playing games, but we only played Scrabble and then the Christmas game that my sister bought for us this past Christmas, which is called Ticket to Ride. We played that a couple of times, but we only played one round of Scrabble last night, and then my sister said she wanted to play Ticket to Ride earlier that night. But then my sister was like, can we take a break before we play Ticket to Ride? And then she was like, we can just watch the movie that you want, though. And I was like, yeah, why don't we just do that? And she was like, yeah, we don't have to play another game. And I was like, well, I thought you wanted to play because you said you wanted to earlier. And I was like, it's okay. We played it enough. So we just watched Galaxy Quest, and it was great. So let me just grab a lippy, and then I need to get out of here. Okay, and then for my lips, I just wanted to test it out real quick, but I'm just going to use my Bite Beauty custom lipstick that I got from the Bite Beauty Lip Lab. It's like this nude color that I really love. I haven't used it in a while, so I kind of wanted to use it today. I'm trying to use some of my older, like, go-to shades that I love. Okay. Oh, it's such a pretty shade. I love it. Jesus fucking... Sorry. I forgot I'm still on camera. Jesus. I just don't know why it's going on so weird. Maybe I should have used a lip liner today. Alright, that's pretty much it. Okay, you guys, so this is the finished look. Here are the eyes. The cheeks. And the lips. I really, really like this Urban Decay Hydromaniac Tinted Moisturizer. It's gorgeous on the skin, and it actually doesn't even feel tacky anymore. Like, as soon as I set it, it felt fine. And when I sprayed my face, it feels like almost nothing. It's pretty weightless. I just think it makes my skin look so beautiful, and I heard so many amazing things about this, so I'm so happy I decided to try this. It's really, really nice. And I also really like the Nude Venus blush from Pat Mcgrath. It's really pretty. I don't think it's anything like amazing though. Like, I think that I was just super excited for these, but I don't know if I'm like really like totally head over heels. Like, I just feel like it's a typical blush formula. I mean, like, there's so many blushes coming out this year. Is anybody else overwhelmed by blushes? I just went blush crazy this year, and I feel like there are so many blushes that I want to try still, and it's like I need to like calm down. Like, I also picked up the new Milani cream blush that I've been wanting too. So it's like there's like 4 new blushes in front of me that I still need to use. So yeah, I love you guys. Please like and subscribe. Follow me on my Instagram at CBW819 and check out my Poshmark at the same handle, which is CBW819. It was just really nice to have my sister here again. We missed her so much. We've been through so much this past year and a half, and it's just like, it was just like surreal that she was here. Like, it's been so long since we've seen her, and since we were all fully vaccinated by last week, we just knew it was finally safe for us to see her, and it was great. And I'm glad that she stayed longer than she initially was going to, because she was only going to stay like 5 days, and then she ended up staying 9 days. Like, we found out before she got here that she was going to stay longer. So yeah, it was just really nice. And yeah, I love you guys. Bye.